OutCasting has covered the topic of marriage equality from many perspectives. Episode 22 takes it from an angle not often covered in the mainstream media: binational couples.
I found out through my son that Maxie was going to go back to Argentina. And because, I get emotional when I talk about this, because we love him dearly and because we feel like he's our son and because we feel like no matter what would even happen between my son and Max, we would always support him because we have a separate love for him.
Under the Defense of Marriage Act, or DOMA, same-sex couples were denied the over 1,100 rights that come with being legally married. One of these important rights is the right to immigration for a non-citizen spouse, which opposite-sex couples have had all along. But if a binational couple, which we define as one partner being a U.S. citizen and the other not being a U.S. citizen, got married, DOMA prevented the federal government from recognizing their marriage for any federal purpose, including immigration. This meant that their marriage could not be seen as a reason to allow the non-citizen to stay in the country.
So American citizens who were gay and lesbian and had spouses, same-sex spouses from other countries, could be legally married in a variety of states, now in 13 states, but could not sponsor their spouses for green cards because the immigration law is federal law, and the federal government did not recognize those marriages for purposes of the Immigration Act.
This tore apart a lot of couples, and many of the couples who were able to stay together ended up needing to move far away to other countries. In the historic Supreme Court case of United States v. Windsor, which was decided in June of 2013, the court ruled that Section 3 of DOMA was unconstitutional. This opened the door for same-sex couples to access federal marriage rights, including immigration. But the messes that DOMA left in its wake will probably never be cleaned up completely. In OutCasting episode 22, we talk about a couple, Jesse and Max, who had to leave the U.S. in order to stay together, and the effects that this had on their families.
His feeling is that he kind of has bitter feelings a little bit towards this country that has denied him. He's an American citizen, and he's been denied the rights that every American citizen has, which is the right to marry someone from another country and be able to stay in this country. We're glad they were able to establish a life for themselves, but for us, it's that sadness. My son has a wonderful, wonderful attitude towards life, and he always says when we see him, this is our holiday, which is really nice and makes us feel happier. But if I had my choice, I'd want to live near my son and Maxie.
Our guests on this episode were civil rights attorney Lavi Soloway and gay rights activist Mimi Goodman. Go to outcastingmedia.org to hear the full episode, learn more about the show, and find links to our Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube, and Instagram. OutCasting. You don't have to be queer to be here.